All right, guys, what's up? It's Monday, February 24th, 2025, about 4:45 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go ahead and jump into our end of day analysis here for all the futures markets. I've got the microphone on full volume. I hope it's coming across loud and clear. If it's not, let me know. I hate it when YouTube videos have shitty volume, so I certainly don't want to fall into that category here with my videos. Although, in all fairness, I'm a professional trader, not a professional audio video specialist, but I'm doing my best. All right, guys, let's go ahead and look at the markets. We're going to talk about my corn trade from last night. Very, very happy with the way that that ended, and I will explain that to you when we get to the section of the analysis where we talk about corn. All right. Today's analysis is not going to be nearly as long as yesterday's. Why? Because yesterday's analysis was the week ahead analysis. We have to really lay the foundation for all these markets to know exactly what we expect for the upcoming week. Now we know what to expect. So now we're just waiting for our setups to happen, and we're just going to kick back, wait, follow these markets every day at the close, wait for our opportunities to make money. All right. So the ES is doing what we kind of thought it would do here. Go back and watch yesterday's video if you want to see all the details. I can't repeat them every single day. It takes too long. But basically, we did expect continued weakness. Just didn't know. We knew it would, try to rally a little bit. I just didn't know if it would try to get up here to the true average envelope bottom there, or if it would try to get up here. I had no idea. So I was just waiting for a pullback on the daily to get maybe a daily close up here to try to short. But as you can see, we're just heading lower. Daily's closing lower. Certainly the market looks weak. I'm not going to chase it down here because, again, if you're going to get in, I'm doing end of days right now, right? I'm putting on my orders and generally just not mucking about with them too much or at all, right? So if I want to go short here, well, where does my stop have to be? Way the hell back here. I'm not going to take that kind of risk, right? So I'm just waiting for the daily to give something like that, right? Catch some people off guard. That's where I'll short and back down like that. So that's what I'm waiting for on ES, although I do expect the market to continue to remain under pressure. So I'd be very careful if I was playing alongside here during the intraday session. For you guys who trade the ES intraday, probably want to focus more on the short side. But again, it depends on your time frame. If you're trading a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, obviously there's tons of opportunities to play both directions. I like to trade in the direction of the prevailing higher time period energy, in this case the daily and the weekly charts. All right, so NASDAQ is going to be pretty much the same here. We can rifle through this, expect continued weakness, but I'm waiting for a pullback to get short. I do think we're going to start to see a little bit of a correction here overall in the markets with what we've seen here the last couple of days. So that'll make for some good volatility, some good trading opportunities. Again, I'm just waiting for a pullback. So that's what I'm doing on the NASDAQ. The Dow and the Russell will likely be much of the same, but let's go ahead and just quickly check in on those. We don't want to miss anything. We don't want to cut any corners. So here's the Dow loading, and the Dow is pretty much leading the pack to the downside with the speed. You can see we've already got a very nice trend run down here on the daily Dow. Is that a pullback to short? No. If the Dow would have closed up in here, yeah, I would have considered just shorting right here at the reopen at 6 p.m. Eastern. But this is not a pattern I want to mess with, although I do think it's going to continue to remain weak. Let's look at the Russell. And the Russell is likely going to be showing us the same picture here. Then we'll get to bonds. We'll look at some gold, silver, platinum, copper. We'll look at the ags. We'll look at the meats. And then I'm going to go to the beach and hang out with my family and watch the sunset here in Costa Rica. Beautiful. Had a nice surf session this morning. It was very, very sweet. Look at the Russell just falling out of bed here too. I mean, this thing looks really, really, really weak. So I'm just waiting for a pullback. All right. Indices, summary, they all look really weak. I'm waiting for a pullback. If you're trading intraday, I would just try to wait for good pops and get short. That's what I would be doing if I was trading intraday right now, but I'm not because I'm developing the entire course and all the indicators for all the different trading platforms. My programmer's doing a lot of coding. I'm doing a lot of recording of the video lessons, the course outline. So I have to just put my day trading on hold for the time being while I develop the course. I must admit, I already missed the day trading a lot, but this is a good experiment to put on end of day trades and just let them run for the whole day and, test that system. because my indicators work on everything. If you want to trade, swing trading, day trading, shorter time period day trading, whatever. So I'm happy to put on the end of days while I develop the course. All right, here's the 10-year Treasury note continuing to push higher. Really much of the same here. It's kind of the inverse of stocks right now, the indices. Bonds are pushing higher, I think, on a fear trade, right? So as people are getting a little bit more nervous, they're parking their money in U.S. Treasuries. Probably going to see some strength in the dollar. Let's go ahead and see if gold and how gold responded to the risk off trade. We'll get there in a second. The 30-year here, going to be looking the same as the 10-year. Not something I'm going to chase up here, but if we get a nice pullback, yeah, could be a long on the bonds, just like we get a nice pullback on the indices, could be a nice short on the indices, but I'm just going to wait for that setup to come to me. And this is the kind of the fun part about going through these markets every day, is you just never know where that next, great setup is going to be. It's a lot of fun. All right, here's the Ultra Bond. It's going to look identical to the 30-year, but let's look at it anyways. There it is. Whoomp. There it is. We got to have a little bit of fun, guys. All right, so not going to trade anything there, but looking pretty bullish. Let's look at gold and see if gold is catching a bid with treasuries on this risk off trade. 1 second while it loads. Oh, yeah. So that was pretty sweet. Yesterday, I think I told you guys with gold, pretty choppy in the middle of this range, but I did say I would expect it to be supported right at the cyan dot. Guys, these levels are here before the day starts. Incredible. Look, I don't have time to watch every market and, sit here and see when gold gets there or whatever, but I'm pointing out the analysis for you guys, for those of you who do trade gold. I'm saying, hey, look at these levels, right? So really, really key. Looks like gold's, probably going to continue to push higher, but we'll see. Nothing I want to do today in terms of an end of day position. Let's go ahead and look at silver. Let it load. All right, so silver kind of leaking lower here, and we talked about that yesterday. I think silver has a chance to maybe head a little bit lower if we're going to continue to see this risk off environment, right? Even though silver is a precious metal, it's kind of more viewed as an industrial metal with all the, solar applications, the electric vehicle, batteries, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to see silver keep correcting here a little bit. Does it mean I'm going to go short? No, but probably if I was day trading silver tomorrow, I would look for a pop up into 33.20 or higher, and then maybe look to get short from that level. It may just open and dump, but I think that's a nice little pocket up there to look to get short into. Definitely coming out of a lot of higher time period resistance. But is it an end of day trade that I want to just set an order and, let it sit out there? No. Very picky on my end of days. All right, copper needs to roll over apparently. Let's go ahead and roll it over. Are we in April now for copper? No, we're in May. I don't trade copper very often, you guys, so rolling over to the May copper. Let that do its thing and load. All right, copper kind of falling out of bed here. We talked about this. Probably going to continue to head lower. I'm just waiting for a pullback to get short. Nothing more than that. Let's look at platinum. All right, same thing here with platinum. Just waiting for pullbacks to get short. Guys, if we have a really, extended risk off period for the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, if that happens, we're going to get some great opportunities and jump on board these trends. The thing is, it's just, you don't want to chase them, right? So I'm just waiting for the market to come to me. And then when I know that I got a nice pattern, a nice trade opportunity, I'll put it on. And then if I'm right, I will add to it and exploit it and make a lot of money on one trade. That's why I don't have to force my trades. Like, for example, today with corn, had we rallied, which I saw a lot of potential for corn to rally, right? It didn't, but had it rallied, I would have added and added and added to really maximize that winner, right? That's very, very important. But corn was suffering on the risk off vibe, like all these markets today. We'll get into corn in a second. How I handle that, I'm very happy with how I handle that. All right, so platinum, we're just waiting for pullbacks. Let's go ahead and look at crude. All right, guys, we're looking at crude oil here. Still got to load the yearly chart, but it's getting there. For whatever reason, the energies take a long time to load. Interesting. All right, well, it's loading the quarterly. We got to funnel through to the daily. Let me just pause while it does that. All right. So here's crude. We got a little bit of a pullback here today on crude. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a candidate for a short because we are kind of leaking lower here. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. So on the weekly chart here, you've got a lot of. First of all, if we want to recover this, go over this again. Recover. I'm tired, guys, but I'm pulling through. All right. So just go over this again is what I meant to say. You can see the monthly chart here. We're coming out all this, pushing down. Thing is, we got some temporary support here. You got to be a little careful. The weekly is kind of stalling out a little bit, but you still do have a nice weekly trend run to the downside. You got a lot of resistance here into the dot zone, 7150-ish. On the daily, that's right up in there. So that's kind of nice that you've got the pink dot, the cyan dot, the near high, all this stuff just sitting here at that weekly dot as well. It's pretty important. I'm going to consider it. It's not like it's not like a perfect setup, and I like when setups look really good. I'm going to think about that one for crude. Could be a potential short up here in 7130, 40, 50, probably 7150. But again, it's also going to help us if the markets stay risk off. Crude should get hit by that. So that's a potential candidate for our end of day trade. Let's look at the RBOB gasoline. Yeah, RBOB's kind of in the same boat as crude. They look pretty similar. RBOB looks a little weaker. A little bit of a pullback here. So, if I had to choose between RBOB and crude, I'd obviously probably just take crude. But I'm going to think about RBOB as well. And you guys know how I like to do this, right? I'm doing my analysis now. I'm looking at the charts. I'm seeing where we are. And then I go to the beach. I watch the sunset with my family. I think about these things. And then I come back, around 7 p.m. Eastern and say, okay, I thought about this crude trade or this RBOB trade. Do I want to take it? Yesterday was the corn trade. Do I want to take it? And then if I want to take it, I upload the information to Discord and I share that with you guys and tell you what I'm doing. So if you haven't joined the Discord, join it. It's in the about section of the channel, so I don't have to keep putting it in every video, although I guess I probably will because it's easy to find it there. So go to Discord and then you can see, what we're doing over there. And when I call out these trades, it looks like it could be a good short there for RBOB. Let's look at heating oil. Yeah, heating oil, pretty similar. You got a lot of resistance right up in here that could. See, what I'm looking for in these energies is potentially, since they pulled back, a move like that, a continuation move. So that's what I'm thinking about here. And let's look at natural gas. That's going to be an interesting one. All right, so the good news here with natural gas is that we've got a really nice weekly exhaust, a lot of resistance up here. We talked about this weekend in the week ahead market analysis. We could see something like this in natural gas this week. And I said, if that's going to happen, the daily's trending up. What do we need to close on the other side of the moving average envelope here? Boom, got it. Not only that, I got a gap down, bang. So probably going to be a lot of resistance here at 4.10. Mohammed, if you like to trade natural gas, watch this level. That's where I'd be looking to short it. I don't know if I'm going to short it, but it certainly looks very weak to me. All right. I'll let you know if I'm going to do any kind of an end of day situation on nat gas or crude. But basically, you can see when you get these changes of trends, especially on my indicators, they can work very, very well. Here you see a little bit one, but you see here how we closed, below that dot, which is signifying a change in trend. But you see how we're, well off the envelope bottom, whereas temporarily right here, we're outside the envelope bottom, baby. That is important. Important indeed. All right. So, I'd definitely be looking for some serious resistance up in here on natural gas. You see, guys, when I'm done recording the course and I'm going to have a live trading room, we'll do some on YouTube, then we'll do most of it in the Discord, right? And then probably most of it will be in the VIP section of the Discord for those who are taking the course and everything like that. And that's when I'm going to do these picks. And sure, the end of day trades work great where I just set the orders and go away. But I'm going to sit here and day trade the shit out of these markets in front of you and show you, like, okay, my level on natural gas is here. I'm going to go ahead and just have my natural gas intraday charts open and just wait. And if we get a nice pattern on the intraday chart up into my resistance level, that's when I hammer it. So like today, I didn't have the time to trade, day trade corn, but I can tell you if I was day trading it, the moment I got out of that long because I knew it wasn't working, I would have flipped my bias to the short side and started looking to short pops. This is how you got to be thinking, right? But right now, the recording of the course takes precedence over me making a lot of money day trading. And that's okay. For right now, it's fine. Let's look at the euro. So nat gas looks weak. I'd be looking for, rallies to be heavily sold into. All right, let's look at the euro. Pause it. Yeah, so I think you guys will recall we talked about that being a strong resistance level up there on the euro. It was. The dollar got stronger, so it's kind of looking risk offish, to be honest. I'm not going to do anything with the euro here, but let's see. I said the pound looked a little stronger than the euro. Recommended maybe a euro pound play for those of you who like Forex. Let's see what the pound did. I have no idea. I haven't seen it all day. All right, so the pound also went down a little bit, just like the euro. They probably both went down equally. I still think the pound overall looks a little stronger. For those of you who like to play the Forex cross pairs, euro pound. Is that a pullback I want to get long? I mean, you're trending up. Like here, you say you're trending up at that right there. You see how you have the dot and this blue line supporting you? That's much better. You see here, you're underneath the dot and you're kind of right at the blue line. Don't really want to go long on that. And it's also the context of what you're looking at. So I'm not even going to look at the Swiss franc and the Australian dollar and all those right now. I'm not in the mood. I'm pretty tired from recording course stuff all day. And I got to get to the beach. So let's go to corn. Finally, I'm going to tell you what I did and why. So I was originally prepared to risk $600 on an XFA with 4 corn contracts, had a 3-cent stop. And my order got filled before I went to bed. And then did it get filled overnight? I can't remember. Anyways, it got filled. My order got filled. I had a limit order sitting there with, my stop and my target in. And when I woke up in the morning before the New York Open, I looked at the corn intraday charts and I just said to myself, it's not responding off of, I'll just go ahead and bring it up for you guys. Why not? Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go here. Let's go ahead and close this. Close, close, close. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so here's the intraday charts with corn. All right, so here you guys can see when I woke up in the morning, it was basically, these are all East Coast times, New York. So it was right in here just before the open when corn's on the pause. So I think corn at that point was like right in here somewhere. So no, it was here. Sorry, it was right in here. That's where it was. So what I did, I was long from, remember with my order, 502.25, right there, right at about this time, right there. My stop was 499.25, so 3 points here, right? So when corn reopened after the pause at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, I just got out because I could see I was wrong, and I took a $300 loss instead of a $600 loss, which is fantastic. And now we can see, well, that was a good call, managing the risk. And this is what I was talking about as well. Had I been day trading corn, the moment I get out of that position here, man, when I see that right there, look, trending down, there's your pullback right to the pink dot, closing below all these dots, bang, baby. That's where you go short and let that puppy ride. And so these are the kind of things we're going to do when we have the live trading room. Super pumped about that. All right. So anyways, that's corn. So do I regret that? No, we had a lot of support there and it could have gone the other way. It didn't. Everything's going down right now and that's great. But one of the keys to being a successful trader over the long run is managing your losses in a really good way, the same way you want to, manage your winners in a good way. Very, very important. You can't be emotional about your positions. All right. So corn today, is anything I want to do there? No. But a lot of support's breaking. So again, if we get a pullback on corn one of these days, I might look to go short like everything else. If we were to get something like that and then boom. This is what I'm looking for. What I just showed you on the corn intraday chart here. Just imagine this, but on all the daily charts we've been looking at. You see how you're trending down, trending down, trending down, right? And then there you had a pop, and then you got a nice move down, even though it closed there. But there you get a real nice pop right to the congestion resistance area. These are the moves, guys. You just wait for these to come to you. And this is just one of my strategies, one of my playbooks, so to speak. But right now, this is the playbook I'm interested in executing across these major futures markets because of this risk off situation that we've got with all these markets. Let's go ahead and look at wheat. All right, so looking at wheat here, look, this is all about context, right? Yeah, you got a little flash pattern there, and you got the pink dot. Yeah, it could bounce, but with everything headed down and risk off right now, and the weekly chart here, now we know on these grains, corn and wheat. I didn't know yesterday. Now I know they're going for weekly congestion entrance down. Do I want to take the daily? Do I want to bet on a daily buy pattern against that weekly, monthly energy? No, I don't want to do that. So right now I'm looking to short these puppies. I don't want to play the long side. So this is how you do it, guys. This is how you just kind of, let's roll over soybeans real quick. You just wait, put together your analysis, wait for your markets, and kick ass. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. And you can kick a lot more ass when you use this analysis and then just day trade your levels. I can't wait to get back to that. But for now, it's good to, I don't know, surf, do the course, take a little day trading break, although I already miss it after one day. Yeah, so here you can see soybeans looking nice and weak as well, breaking the pink dot. Look, I'm not just going to short this, but we're going to keep an eye on these things. Look at soybean meal. Same thing with the soybean meal. Probably going to crack through all that support is my guess. So just going to keep an eye on it and watch and wait. Now, see, you guys can use my analysis on whatever market you trade, right? So like, if let's say you're a soybean meal specialist, it's the only thing you trade. You just love soybean meal, right? Well, it's looking pretty weak right now. So I'm not going to trade soybean meal tomorrow because I got other things I got to be doing, and there are better markets in my opinion, like the energies, which look pretty good for shorting. But that that yellow dot right there, I don't think we're getting back to that cyan dot. I really don't. So that yellow dot and these two dots, I mean, there's your resistance zone for soybean meal. Then you just watch your intraday charts, and if you get a little pop up into that zone, you go short, low risk entry, and then it potentially starts to head lower. You got yourself a winning trade. You can do this with any of these markets. All right, and I will show you. I'm not just saying, oh, you can do this and you can do that. No. I'm going to show you once we start live streaming every day exactly how I do it. It's awesome. It's exciting too. All right, we're looking at the soybean oil now. It's going to be the same. So you can see coming out of that nice flash pattern on the weekly here for soybean oil, a lot of resistance up in there. So that's why the daily is reversing to the downside. So yeah, probably soybean oil, you're going to see some nice follow through. Anywhere in here is going to be a lot of resistance, probably pushing down. It's looking the same as corn looked. Like if you go back, I'm not going to do it, but go back and look at corn. This looks exactly like corn looked last night. And now we know that corn failed, right? Well, soybean oil is looking like it's going to do the same. Let's look at cattle and hogs and then Bitcoin to wrap it up. Doesn't look like there's going to be any end of day trades tonight. But you never know. All right, so cattle, I mean, look at this quarterly you're coming out of. That's incredible. And that big exhaust right there on the monthly. But now the weekly is trying, I would never short right here. Like that pullback on the daily is not something I would short. I'm not saying it's not going to go down, but just you want all your charts to match up. Let's look at hogs. Then we'll look at some Bitcoin. All right, so the hogs are pushing lower. Everything's selling off right now, guys. Everything. All right, let's look at Bitcoin here, we'll finish off. And you know, when I do the course, you guys, I've already started recording it. It's going to be very sequential. You know, I'm going to take you step by step by step, so that after you do the course, you're watching me trade on the live streams, you're paying attention to these end of day analysis videos I'm doing. It's going to start to come together, and you're going to start seeing what I see, and then you'll be able to use my system for however you want to trade it. There are so many different ways to use it. That's why people say, "Oh, if you have an edge, why are you sharing it? Like it's going to go away." No, it's not going to go away. First of all, it's a fucking awesome edge. And second of all, like you can trade so many different successful ways with my system. There's enough money out there in the markets. Probably 90% of people are not going to be psychologically strong enough to trade it successful and win anyways. So for the 10% of people that put the effort and come up with their own systems, I'm going to help you craft your own custom trading plan for your market, whatever time zone you're in. If you want to day trade, swing trade, I'm going to help you with all that. And I mean, there's just enough money out there for everybody, and you can apply my system to so many different areas. So super exciting. I'm pumped to show you guys in the course. It's going to be just, in my opinion, like the best course out there, because I've seen other courses, like honestly, they're fucking garbage, like really. And I will back this up with what I'm going to share with you guys. That mine's going to be awesome. That's what I'm going to back up. All right. Bitcoin here, risk off. You see leaking lower. So I think, you know, things are looking risk off. If we just patiently wait for our bounces, we'll be good to go. For those of you day trading, I would just, you know, like just, I know most of you trade NASDAQ like me, right? Or ES or whatever, right? So we just finish off here once more with the NASDAQ. And this applies to the ES too. You just want to wait for a pop into a resistance zone, right? And then see if you can get short. So I'm waiting for, you know, these end of days to pop back up here. But, you know, you guys, you have your own strategies. The market's looking very weak right now. So I'm going to just continue to follow my end of day plan for now. Keep my focus on recording the course and hanging out with you guys in Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, go do that. Link below the video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm going to go to the beach and watch the sunset, you guys. Then I'll check in with you later on Discord. After I've thought about if I want to trade crude or any of these other markets, I will let you know. All right. Take care, you guys.